Hi, it's Mitch from PickDogs.com. I am back here with the Puck Dogs. Guys, how's it going this morning?
Awesome.
Keep going.
So, Rod, I got a quick question for you to start the show. Did you learn a little thing about the Lakers-Celtics rivalry yesterday? It's like, that is, I'm telling you, it's a different animal. It's, you know.
I wouldn't have picked the Lakers if I knew AD was starting. You fade a player back off of injury. I thought AD was still out, and then all of a sudden after the show, all of a sudden they pop it up that he's going to be back in. Yeah, I don't like Lakers anymore. I took Boston after that.
Yeah, I don't think it would have mattered. I think in a 40-point beatdown that was never close, I hardly think that mattered. It's like,
it looked like disaster. When AD scored 9 points, it was a disaster.
They could have had Wilt Chamberlain, Magic Johnson, and Kareem. They were not going to win that game. Okay? They were not going to win it. I'm telling you, I lived in Boston for 5 years or more, right? And we'll get Steve Monahan on here, and he'll try and explain it to you. They hate the Lakers. It's like they will be. It's like the Islanders Rangers, you know, where it's like they'll say beat your wife popping at the Winnipeg game. You know, it's the same thing with the Lakers Celtics. They'll be screaming beat LA at the Rockets game. It's like it's the same thing. It's like Yankees Red Sox. It's like Cardinals Cubs. It's like Michigan Ohio State. It's like Alabama Auburn. It's like all those. It's that big. It is that big, and it's like you look at how many times those two teams have played in the finals, in the NBA Finals, and most of the time it's been Boston that's won. But I just think that they'll play in LA and the Lakers will win. It's pretty much what will happen. It's the way that it works. I just shared the show in our group. I know it stopped for some reason. It stopped showing the show in our group, but outside of that, I thought it was a pretty interesting day. I like the way the NBA did the full day of games. I thought, especially with that Celtics-Lakers game kind of at that time, and then Damian Lillard comes on and drops 61 on the Warriors. I just thought it was I thought it was nice. Like I said, the Big East did it a few years ago, and it was awesome too. But Chris is off to Vegas tomorrow, so he's not going to be with us. So we'll kind of have a lot of material here. I guess I don't know if he'll be watching the replay or not, but we'll just assume he won't be. So we'll just dedicate at least a good portion of the show to busting his chops since he's not here. We'll come up with some special material. You guys this is like we're gonna have our A material ready for this.
Oh, I invited. I bring it on.
Our A material ready. Kind of will be there like, well, it's like Bowling Green versus.
That game's not hard for me, so I'll tell you that much.
All right, let's get to some NHL action. Get the show rolling today. I'm in a little better mood than I've been in the last couple of days. I don't know, maybe it's Tuesday. Who knows? It's just, I have to say that I've been grinding it since we started Pick Dogs. I've really been burning the candle at both ends, and I mean both ends as in the ends of when I go to bed and wake up to bed. Wake up from bed, which is getting smaller and smaller. So I've been, I've been kind of wiped, and I think all those other daytime shows that I was doing, all those halftimes and everything, it just kind of got to me. So I think I'm going to pare those down as we go through college hoops. I'll do a few of them throughout the day, small ones, and some of these weekday afternoon shows, cut those down as well. But we're going to do NFL draft with Steve Monahan on Thursday, and then NFL free agency on Friday and Thursday, one of those. But we're going to continue. We're going to do a Thursday, Friday NFL show with Monahan and college, whatever we're going to do. I don't know. I know that one thing we won't be talking about, and that'll be who's going to engrave Pete Rose's bust in the Hall of Fame, right? Still can't get over that.
Maybe they'll do it with an Apple Watch on.
It's like, well, here's a guy that's a Yankee fan, and his reliever, choked his girlfriend, and that's okay. You know, it's 50 games. You know,
Yeah.
this other guy is banned for life because he could put a few bucks on, and all evidence shows that he bet on his own team. You know, I mean, he lost a lot of bets. The Reds weren't that good. You know, he bet on his own team. It's like what's the difference between betting on your own team and a performance bonus based on wins? What's the difference? What is the difference?
Yeah.
If you do it right, you can catch both.
Well, I mean, basically, in that situation, the team is the bookie, right? The team is the bookie in that situation. That's the only difference. Boston against Vegas, Rod. Boston 4-3, 1-2 their last 10. Kind of jumbled mess. Vegas, this team's up and down. They were cold and hot and cold and hot, and now they're 5-4-0-1 in their last 9. Not a great road team. Not a bad road team, but Boston pretty good at home. What do you think here?
Yeah, Boston. For me, I got to take Boston. Yeah, this is be a one. I think it'll be a close game. I think I see this as a 1-goal game. Give me Boston in regulation plus 105. Get rid of that juice. I think they win in regulation.
Yeah,
the Knights are 0-4 last 4 head to head. So no, give me Boston.
Yeah, I'm on the same. I'm on Boston regulation. You know, Vegas is 5-5 in their last 10 games, basically, but they've lost 5 of their last 6, and that's where those losses are coming from. So yeah, I'll take Boston at home here.
I like the over 6. Rangers Islanders playing for the 14th time in 2 weeks. Chris, I don't even know. It's like I saw this one on Spread Knowledge, you know, when I was picking out what games I was going to put on the show, and I just kind of picked the first ones that pop out at me, whatever. And it was this one. I was like, it's got to be a misprint. They just played twice. They just played twice, right?
Yeah.
Rangers won them both.
Yeah, and that's exactly why I'm going to go with the Rangers here. The Islanders aren't playing great hockey right now. They have been profitable this whole season. I think they're the best team in terms of money won this season. But like you said, the Rangers have already beat the Islanders twice. They know how to do it, and they're at home. And I'll take the Rangers here at even money.
So if you would have bet all 3 games, you could have had a Rangers birdcage. The Rangers here.
If they would have given you all the lines.
Yeah, or you could do a progressive parlay. You know.
Oh, well, yeah, do one and then do one.
And then there's also.
Yeah, I'm on the Rangers.
We'll call this Chris's tic-tac-toe 3 in a row for the Rangers. Rod, you think the Islanders can bounce back here?
No. Give me the Rangers. I've been the guy on the Rangers all this series. Rangers. Give me the Rangers again.
The Islanders, ever since this whole Rangers best of 7 playoff regular season series started, since that started, the Islanders' record has really gone down the tubes, right? I mean,
oh yeah.
I mean, they were one of the best teams in hockey, and the Rangers have really put a dent in that. So, you know, we're starting to see.
We're getting to that point where the good teams are starting to step up, and we need some wins, and that they want wins.
I love that. When I golf, I wear one of these Apple Watches. And it's like they change it so often, even though I only have like the second version of it or something. It's like they change it so often, I never know what the settings are. They just have like a software. That's what I'm doing in the background. We're trying to figure this thing out. It's like there's nothing worse than going into your backswing on the golf course and the thing starts vibrating. It's telling you. It's like, what is this? It's like I'm in my backswing and they're like, and I just stop and I walk away from the ball and like, you know, people I'm playing with are like, what happened? I'm like, the watch is telling me to breathe. It's like, what is this, man?
At that point, they might accuse you of cheating.
Jesus. Oh my God, man! Carolina, Winnipeg, the minus 185 and plus 165. That seems like a hefty price for Winnipeg, right? Chris?
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Rod?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Jets. Give the Jets a shot here. Jets are 7-2 last 9 in Carolina, 4-1 the last 5 head-to-head against Carolina. I'll take a shot with the Jets on the money line here to finally get a win.
For this, if you have spread knowledge questions, they have awesome customer service, and they're super easy to contact. If you go to the Spread Knowledge website, you can contact them. Charles will answer you like in 2 seconds. He's way into it. He's like, see, that's like how I always answer my emails in like 2 seconds when people send them to me, and you know, things. I'll tell you, the worst ways to contact me are Facebook Messenger, you know, because like I rarely check that. The best way to contact me is always email, and if you email me, you usually get a response unless I'm sleeping, and like within 5 minutes. But yeah, it's like, it's because I'm way into it. You know, it's like I don't just fake it and go through the motions and like have some show and I just talk to them once in a while, once every 6 months, I'll post in the Pick Dogs group as Pick Dogs, right? It's like I'm not poking fun at some other people. It's not fun. It's just I'm just poking. it's not poking fun. It's just poking. Let's get that straight so they can tell their lawyer. Anyways. Flyers against the Penguins. Wait, did we do yours, Chris?
No, I like Carolina on the puck line. They do their best work at home, and Winnipeg's sliding right now. So I'll take Carolina on the puck line.
I hate that bet. Okay, hate it. Do you want to know my reasoning?
Go ahead.
Carolina's 11-14 on the puck line at home this season.
No.
While Winnipeg is 18-7 on the puck line on the road. I like my chances there better than almost 70% of the time. The Jets cover the puck line on the road. So I'm going to take the Jets. I would go on the opposite side of that one. Probably getting reasonable odds at plus a goal and a half there.
Oh, 3 times your money. It's like plus 325, I think.
No. If you're getting the puck line, I think in this instance they're saying plus a goal and a half.
Minus 155.
That's not bad.
That's not bad.
For something that hits 70% of the time. I'll take it. It's probably better than 70%. I don't know. It's just me. Anyways, Penguins, Flyers. Anything?
Yeah, I like the Penguins here at minus 135. You know, it's Philadelphia's got that solid home record, but Pittsburgh again keeps finding ways to win. They've owned the Flyers in Philadelphia, won 8 of the last 10 meetings. I think they've won 5 of the last 6 in Philly, and Pittsburgh just keeps winning on the road. So I'll take Pittsburgh minus 135.
Philly's going to physically beat them up. Rod, what do you got to say?
I'm gonna take the Flyers. I think the world's going to be on the Penguins today because they're going to be like, "Whoa, Penguins!" Yeah! Everybody's going to jump on the Penguins. I'm gonna go the other way.
I think the Flyers are going to hit them in the mouth. I think that's what they're going to do. I think that exactly that streak that you said, Chris. They're going to be mad. They know about their record against the Penguins at home, and believe me, they're going to come out. They're going to hit them in the mouth. Is what's going to happen. That's what happens in these games like this Rangers Islanders. I'd be a little worried about that one too. But the Rangers, I think, are actually traditionally a tougher team than the Islanders. The last time the Islanders were tougher was like in the 70s, you know, when Bobby Nystrom was playing. But it's like, you know, the Rangers have been they built their team tougher over the years. I mean, Ty Domi was on the Rangers, right? So it's like Ulf Samuelsson, you know. I mean, let's go out and find a guy like that. Ulf Samuelsson's the guy that, you know, if he's on your team, you love him. If he's on the other team, you hate him. You know, he's that guy. He is the ultimate. Him and Claude Lemieux are the ultimate, those guys. I would say.
I like Scott Stevens. Stevens from Jersey, big beast. Oh yeah, he turned the game around in a hurry.
It's like the guy who's on your team, you love him. Everybody else hates him. You know. It's like there's always a bunch of guys. And hockey has more of those guys than anybody else because it is such a chippy game. It's a lot less chippy than it used to be, but there is always those guys. For me, it was like in Chicago when I lived there. Our guy was Sharp. Patrick Sharp. Yeah, he's just like, because he wasn't as chippy like these guys, but what he was is he would score like every time he scored, it seemed to be the backbreaker, you know?
Scored the one that
just the worst possible time, like when the other team was just getting momentum, and it looked like, oh my god, you know? It's like, I know the other players hated his guts. I know that much, especially Duncan Keith. But anyways, that's a different story.
Once playoff hockey's back, it gets more chippy again.
Yeah. They
playoff
let him
hockey.
play. They let him play.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It's,
Yeah,
it's,
that's what I like. They let them play. The refs don't take control of it. They just beat the snot out of each other.
I don't mind the letting. I like the letting them play as long as it's consistent. You know, in the NFL, they'll let them play, and then all of a sudden you'll get a pass interference like we saw in that Titans-Chiefs game. You know, where the guy goes to turn his head around, the Chiefs guy's got him pushed, or he can't turn his head around. It's like they call pass interference. I think the pass interference is something that the NFL is going to review this year once again. Just the way that it's done, you know, the 15-yard versus the 47-yard pass interference. Yeah. Blackhawks against the Panthers. The Blackhawks are on a roll. The Panthers, we talked about this team yesterday, right? I mean, they've been rolling a lot longer than I even knew. But well, that's what you get for not following hockey. But both these teams are, you know, playing pretty well recently, but the Hawks are kind of on a little bit of a heater here. 7-3 in the last 10. Panthers 7-3 in the last 10. I mean, Chicago minus 125. If they would have played this game 3 weeks ago, they would have been plus 150.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna take Chicago at home. Florida is notoriously they're not as good in Chicago. They struggle there. Give me Chicago. The way they've been playing.
Yeah, I'm going to take Chicago minus 120 as well. Florida's won their last 4 games on a back-to-back, but a lot of those they've capitalized on softer schedule spots, like they beat the Sharks after playing Columbus, but the Sharks were on that horrible stretch. And then they beat Montreal and Detroit in a back-to-back span when both of those teams were hot garbage. So Chicago's just, it's like Mitch, it's like you said, Chicago's on a roll right now. They're won 5 straight. I'll take Chicago minus 120.
Anyways,
they can see the playoff line.
Action here in college hoops today. It's a pretty full card. I see a lot of questions here, and like always, if I don't go over your pick here, I might have a pick on it on YouTube. That's my pick, and if you look over at pickdogs.com, Chris or one of our other writers on our team has the game covered. One thing that I want to say to everybody, because I get these emails once a week, if not more. And I don't really know what I can do about it. So if anyone has a suggestion as to what we can do to improve this, I'm all ears. But being a consensus pick is not going to be it, is not the answer. How come the pick on the site is different from your YouTube video pick? I don't know, because I'm a different person than the person that wrote the article. I mean, that's pretty much what it comes down to. It says underneath the article, this is not a site consensus pick. This is the pick of the person. It never says pick dog's pick. It says whoever wrote the pick, Chris's pick, Randy's pick, Andrew's pick, Brett's pick. That's what it says, because that's whose pick it is. Even below it, it says this is not a site consensus pick. This is the author's pick. It's like, tell me what else we can do to make this clear, because I don't know, some people don't seem to get it. Go through some quick questions. Chris, what are you looking at in college hoops?
I had 4 games I'm kind of keyed in on.
Give the first today. 2. We'll cut back to you for the final.
I like Texas A&M plus 9 against Missouri.
They were going to be my dog of the day, Texas A&M, but that South Carolina. I think we're getting good value because of that South Carolina game. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I just think it's way too many points. I mean, the numbers don't really stray too far from each other. They're both playing low scoring, grinded out kind of games. Since conference play started, I mean, Texas A&M's only being outscored by 0.2 points a game, while Missouri's lost by 9.5 points. So I'll take a shot with Texas A&M at the points. I also like Wichita State minus 4 against USF. Even at home, I know the Bulls are pretty good defensively, but I just don't think they have the horses to keep up with what Wichita State's going to bring to the table. I just think Wichita State wins this one by at least 7 or 8 points, so I'll take Wichita minus 4.
Rod, you got anything here in...
Yeah, I'm looking at about 6 games, 7 games.
How many?
I'll go 6 or 7 I'm looking at.
Well, give the first 4.
Okay. We'll go with the first one I'm looking at is Akron at Miami, Ohio. I remember to write down the team, the other team. Akron, they're 4-1 in conference play. The 5-2 ATS, the last 7 on the road. I think they bounce back from their ugly loss to Temple. Give me Akron here, -4. Oklahoma State
Hold on a second.
Iowa.
Hold on, Rod, hang on. We got a question here. Number the people and have them pick the number by your number one. How about no? How about no? It's like, how about if you have a show and do it your way? Yeah, it's like, I love you guys, but everyone knows you can only ask for so much. I mean, I'm in a better mood today. I got a little bit of sleep. I took a nap yesterday, but it's like, no way. It's like you're asking me to do even more. That ain't gonna happen. It's like, this is the best. What you're seeing right now, unfortunately, this is the best we get. This is the best we got right now.
It's gonna
you can see my eyes. I can barely open them, man. This is the best we got right now. We're showing up. We're giving out picks. Win or lose, we show up the next day, right? We never say, oh man, I really don't feel like going on. Believe me, there are times where I felt like putting my head in the sand, and we just move on to the next day. But as far as giving out my premium picks on here, it's like, that ain't gonna happen, And it's like, these guys starting probably in a week or so, these guys will be putting their best bets in the premium area. We're still gonna cover tons of picks, but these guys will be having their own packages for sale of their best bets for the day. And you'll be able to say, what's your best bet? They're right here. I think we give out plenty for free, man. I think we go above and beyond. I'm never going to sit here and say that we don't have a lot of work to do as far as improving what we do. And I think over the last 12, 13 years, I think I've done that. I think I've changed this industry from top to bottom. When I started, it was boiler rooms, man. Nobody gave free picks on every game every day before I did. Nobody. Now everybody does. They just copied me. And trust me on this. In the next month or two, we're going to shake this industry again. These guys are never going to know what hit them. Once again, it'll be the second time I did it. Because they kind of caught on to my free pick on every game every day. Everyone else is doing it now. But look at the ass whooping I've done to them on YouTube in the last month and a half. Starch it, right? I mean, the guys who've been doing it for 10 years, the guys that put, $20,000 a month into their show. We beat the living crap out of these guys. I almost said dog shit. Almost said dog shit. Rod, get back to your picks. I'm sorry. At a certain point, man, it's like, I don't know how much more I can give, man. We can give blood, I guess. But I need help. I ask all the time on the show if anyone wants to join our staff. I've had 2 people take me up on it that have actually sent in serious things, But go ahead, Rod. Finish things.
I'm looking at the Oklahoma State at Iowa State. For me, Oklahoma State's 6-2 ATS, last 8 on the road, and they're the dog. Iowa State's the last 2 games. No, give me Oklahoma State here, +5.5. I think I don't know if they'll win this outright. I think they got a good chance to win this outright, but I think they keep it closer than the number there.
Oklahoma State's been terrible. It's terrible.
Then Wake at Clemson. I think that number's way too big. There's Wake +8. Give me Wake +8.5.
Clemson's had some big wins recently over Duke and North Carolina, and that is why the line is so big.
Wake just played pretty good last game.
Right. No. I mean, I'm just saying the line is that big because they beat Duke. That's how
I think it's only. I think there's another. That's an overreaction. Give me Wake +8.5 there. And I also like Florida at LSU. Give me LSU at home. They're 9-1 at home. They're on a 6-game winning streak. They've been rolling. Give me LSU -2.5 at home over Florida.
Here's the interesting thing about the LSU Florida game on this one for me. What I see is that you look at who LSU played out of the SEC, and you look at who Florida's played out this season, and you're talking 2 totally different schedules. When you're looking even at going back to their 9th and 10th, going back to before the out of conference schedule, while Florida's at Butler, Providence neutral site, Utah State, these guys are playing New Orleans, Northwestern State, East Tennessee was the tough one, and they lost it as a 9-point favorite. They got whooped by 11. Then they played at USC. They lost that one too. That was a neutral siter. Then Liberty, who was, I believe, undefeated going into that game, they starched them. They beat them by 14. But then, so here's their SEC opponents that they've played over this winning streak. So Liberty is part of the winning streak. But then it goes Tennessee, who has not been playing well. Arkansas, who's okay. They beat them by 2, which is the line in this game. Okay, and they beat them at home by 2. Mississippi State by 1 point at home in that game too. Okay, then who's not as good as Florida. Then Texas A&M, at Texas A&M, they beat them in overtime, did not cover, and then last time out at Ole Miss, who's been stinking up the joint, 4 points. And then when you look at Florida, who they've played, Butler, Providence, Utah State, Alabama, who's been fire, South Carolina, who's is not that great, but they just beat Texas A&M pretty badly last time out in what I call the TV graphic game. It's like, South Carolina's hit more. It's like when you have the other team and they're showing all these graphics. South Carolina's hit more 3-pointers than they've hit as a school ever combined. Right? It's like they keep showing those graphics. West Virginia hasn't trailed by this many points at halftime since the Truman administration. It's like, I know. I'm laying 14 on top of this. It's like, but they lost to Missouri, but they beat Ole Miss, the same team that LSU beat by 1 point. They beat them 71-55. If it was a fight, they would have stopped it. And then last time out, they beat a really good Auburn team as a 2.5-point favorite. They beat them by 19. They beat them 69-47. So they beat them actually more than 19. They beat them by 23. So I just think that not all 5-game winning streaks and 6-game winning streaks are created equal. I would lay low. On the other just saying.
It's not my top play on the board, but I'm looking at it.
Yeah, I'm just saying that, I know LSU has been running, and it's like, yeah, they're hot, and winning is winning. Winning, especially conference games, winning is winning. But not all, they didn't play. They weren't. Well, they're out playing Northwestern State and New Orleans. Florida's playing Butler and Utah State. I mean, and Providence. It's like a little different company.
Yep.
What else we got?
I like Maryland at Northwestern. Maryland 4-1 ATS last 5. Northwestern is 1-6 ATS the last 7. Give me Maryland here. I think they do it.
We're on the opposite again. So. There's no way I'm giving 7.5 points to a team that hasn't covered on the road all season in the Big Ten game, where I think 4 Big Ten teams have covered on the road all season. It's like, that ain't gonna happen.
I like it. Northwestern sucks.
Oh, they suck. They don't just suck. They suck. It's like you're watching the game. My wife's like, they can't hear you. I'm like, you suck. It's like, I lived in. I went to. I got sent away to boarding school in Connecticut when I was a kid, and I met Jet fans for the first time, and that's when I learned to yell, "You suck" at the TV. No one says you suck at the TV like Jet fans, man.
My wife does the same thing. She's like, "Why are you yelling at the TV? Nobody can hear you."
They can't hear you.
Yes, they can.
You suck. It's like when Sam attacked me for putting on the Mississippi State Tennessee game on the big screen. It was like, we'll have none of this.
I vividly remember. I think it was. I think it was actually a Northwestern game that my friends and I were watching not too long ago. And he said the same thing. He tried screaming at the TV, and his girlfriend popped her head and said, "They can't hear you." So he tried calling the Northwestern switchboard to talk to someone at customer service.
They suck. They suck. I mean, but you never know, They have covered twice at home this season. 2-7.
Twice.
What else we got? One more. Give me one more.
You want more? I got two more, but I'll give you one more. Butler at Nova. Give me Nova here. This Butler team has been, their defense disappeared their last two games. Like they gave up 20 more points than their season average the last two games. Do they pop out and come back and beat Nova today? I don't know. Give me Nova.
I wouldn't
Minus
touch this game with a 10-foot pole. I don't see Butler losing this many in a row. And Villanova's been so hot, I don't want to bet against them either. I'm on the over in that one.
Yeah, I can see that going over.
I could see it going overtime.
Yeah, I could see it going overtime too. If Butler's D doesn't show up, they're going to get blown out.
They will. What's your last one that you said you had one more?
And the last one is the computer pick, which is it was still a B-rated pick. I like St. John's at Marquette plus 8.5. St. John's 6-1-1 ATS last 8. Yeah, give me St. John's. I think that number's way too big. Plus 8.5. And I know the computer pick says take Marquette minus the 8.5. I'll take St. John's.
We got 115 people watching it on YouTube with 48 thumbs up. If you guys could take a second and hit the thumbs up, greatly appreciated. We do this show every day. We don't ask you for anything. I don't hold back anything. I do a crap ton of videos every day. We give free picks on every game every day at Pick Dogs. I have no problem sitting here and asking people if you could take a half a second of your time and hit the thumbs up. If you're watching it on a phone, you just shrink the comments. You shrink the comments and you just hit the thumbs up. The computer picks, this guy's talking about this is the computer pick and this is whatever. The thing about the computer pick is that the computer pick isn't based on who they think is going to win the game necessarily. Of course, what the way the computer picks it is if that value in the pick is worth making a bet. So it's a little bit different theory. It's basically saying that this is a spot to take a shot at that. And there's a few big money line dogs out there today, and I think that's what he's alluding to. There's a few of them where it's like the money line dog has a puncher's chance, and we're talking about 10-1 or better payouts on some of these, where the computer gives it an A rating because of the value that's there. So they're not saying I don't think like an A rating is a 5-unit play necessarily with the computer picks. I think it's just this is something to take a look at, because this team has a chance to win this game outright, and they're getting 10-1 on your money. It's not the same thing as saying, the way like the Packers in that game, their first playoff game, which Seattle doesn't go for 2, they cover. But that's who the hell knows. Chris, what were your last 2 games that you said you had there?
Yeah, I added one more actually. So I'm on the other side. I like Iowa State minus 5.5 against Oklahoma State. I just think if you looked at Oklahoma State during that 5-game losing streak, yeah, they hung around with Baylor last time, but before that, they got slapped at home by 12 against a Texas team that, we've said before we're not very high on. And the 3 games before that, at TCU, home against West Virginia, at Texas Tech, all defensive teams, but they were only putting up around 47 points a game in those games, and I don't think you're going to win many games putting up 47. So I'll until I see something different, I'm going to go against Oklahoma State. I'll take Iowa State. I like under 143 in the Florida LSU game. I don't think either side hits 70. I think it's 66, 63 or something around that area. And I like San Jose State plus the 11.5 against New Mexico. New Mexico just dismissed one of their better players from the team for a DWI. They still got another guy on suspension with an investigation. A lot of distractions. San Jose State's already beat New Mexico this season at home, and I think they can at least hang around on the road. New Mexico's been leaking points left and right lately, and San Jose can hang, so I'll take San Jose State plus the points.
All right. Let's see what I got. I'll go through. I'll give out a couple, too. Games that I didn't cover. Anything that you're looking for a pick from me, and it's a major game, like a major conference game, today. I did a video on all of them except for the Clemson Wake Forest game. It was the only of the bigger conference games that I didn't do a video on. Utah State against Air Force. The Force is getting 13.5 points in this one. Seems to be a little bit too big of a number. I think Utah State wins this thing, but this is like a 6-point game. You know, we're getting almost double of what we should be getting in this thing. Utah State is just 6-12 against the number this season. It's because they're laying big spreads like this. We're talking about a defensive team, you know. So 13.5 for a defensive team is like giving 26.5 for somebody else. The Air Force defense is not good. Not good. They give about 72.2 points a game, and that's how you get to a 13.5-point number, especially on the road. But whether that 72.2 and the 46.4% that they allow shooting from the floor, whether that merits 13.5 points in a conference game for a team that's just 3-5 on the road this season. It's not like they haven't won at all. I don't know. I think the Force is with us. I'm going to take Air Force plus 13.5 in this one. The other game that I was looking at that I didn't give a video on is San Diego State, Wyoming. I don't know. I've been on San Diego State all season, and you know, now it's kind of like Baylor, right? The public caught on, and Rod yesterday was like Baylor, and I was kind of like, I had given out Baylor in the video, and this is why you watch the live show and not just watch the videos. It's kind of like Rod was like, I like Baylor. I said, you know, I love Baylor, you know, to go to the Final Four still, and I like Baylor since the beginning of the season, but it's like they're going to start putting these lines way. They're not just going to hand us money on Baylor games anymore. You know, it's like they've already handed us enough money on Baylor games, and they're going to decide to go the other way. And it looked like Baylor was on their way, and then all of a sudden, you know, Oklahoma's not a bad team. I mean, this is a team. Oklahoma is a fringe tournament team at this point. I would say if they named the field of 68 today, that they would be in a playing game at the worst. Oklahoma played a heavy-duty out-of-conference schedule. It came in handy yesterday. But I think San Diego State's another team that we're starting to see this type of number on. 23 is just a ton. I mean, it's a ton. But Wyoming is, I mean, you think Northwestern stinks. I mean,
Wyoming's worse.
They stink. They really stink. But... yeah. But the thing about Wyoming is that they have covered a lot of spreads on the road, you know, in games that they've lost. So they're used to being a dog because everybody knows they stink. It's not like, oh man, did you know Wyoming really stinks? It's like, oh no, they stink. You know. So you know, when a team stinks that bad, they get a lot of points. 23 is such a big number. It's such a big number that the public is heavy on the dog here on Wyoming. If the public's heavy on the dog, I'm comfy laying the 23. I'm going to take San Diego State and I'll lay the big number. Nothing more worse. Nothing more worse. Isn't that like the same thing? So nothing worse than a public dog. There's some things worse, but public dogs usually have fleas. I'm with you on Texas A&M. I was going to put them as dog of the day, but I thought that the line looked almost fishy. It was so big. St. Joe's, this is a team that, you know, just hasn't shown up this season either. And, you know, that Clemson Wake Forest, we got another public dog there. Wake hasn't covered a lot of games on the road, but Clemson's not a good team. I mean, they're 9-8. They're not good. They've caught fire recently. Don't love it. Wichita State, kind of in a little funk too. But I guess they're due to bounce back. Another game I didn't do a video on was Kent State against Northern Illinois. Kent State's 9-0 at home, 5-2 against the number, but I just didn't like the line in this one. You know, 9 points just seems right. I hate when the line just seems right. I would do a prop bet on a push in this game at 9. Margin of victory, 9. I like it. We got one game in the NBA today after yesterday's beautiful card. public loves the Mavericks, man. Yeah, they're just infatuated with this team. I'm on the Clippers here.
Yeah, me too.
I kind of like the over. So, how about you, Chris? Anything? Clippers?
Yeah, I was on the Clippers in the over as well. Bruins.
Bruins.
How about you, Rod? You like the Clippers?
I'm on the Clippers as well. Give me the Clippers.
What's up with the Mavs, man? What's up with this? Like, people just love these teams.
Oh yeah, I think everybody's dog will be like, yeah.
I did a video on this one. I am not going to talk about the same games over and over again, man. I just can't do it. Anyways, anything else you guys want to talk about here? Chris, Rod, did we leave anything off the board that you were rushing to the window for?
No, not that I was rushing to the window for.
Chris is going to Vegas tomorrow, so he'll be broadcasting with us on Thursday from fabulous Las Vegas. He'll have to get up early to do that for him. It's time zone switch.
Yeah.
Kind of see what halfway to what I do every day is looks like. I mean, Chris and I have a 5-hour time difference right at this time of year. We go to 6 hours in March.
Yeah.
All right, you want to recap them? Let's just recap. Be sure to hit the thumbs up if you haven't done so. Maybe we'll start doing what the other guys do. I need 40 retweets. It's like, well, the show's not on Twitter, you're on YouTube. I need 40 retweets. Like, I saw somebody tweeted this, right? I need 40 retweets, and I wrote back, and I said, it's got to be the lamest marketing strategy I've ever. I wrote back, I said, nice business model. It's like basically begging for retweets. I mean, I'm not begging for thumbs up. I'm just saying I think we deserve them, you know. It helps us a ton. It costs you absolutely nothing. I think it's not like we're just, typing 160 characters or less, and sending it out to you. Kind of, I mean, I'm up at 3:30 in the morning preparing for the other show, and then I do this show after it. So it's like, I don't ask for much. I don't say you have to buy anything. I don't say you have to do anything. I'm just saying you could just hit the thumbs up on your phone, or slide your mouse pad around and click the thumbs up. I don't think it's overly difficult or too much to ask. And I'm not saying we won't do anything if you don't do it, but it's like, WTF. I don't know why you wouldn't. All right, Chris. We'll do your farewell recap before your big trip.
Okay, so for me, I like Boston in regulation. It's minus 105 against Vegas. I like the Rangers minus 109 against the Islanders. I like Carolina on the puck line against Winnipeg. Pittsburgh minus 135 against Philadelphia. And Chicago minus 120 against Florida. College hoops, I like Texas A&M plus 9 against Missouri. Wichita State minus 4 against USF. Iowa State minus 5.5 against Oklahoma State. I like the under 143 in Florida, LSU. I like San Jose State plus 11 against New Mexico. 4-game parlay. I like Penguins money line, Blackhawks money line, Wichita State minus 4.5, and Texas A&M plus 9.5.
All right. If you have picks of your own, the place to put those is in our Facebook group. We have thousands of members discussing picks. Or you could do your own video show. I encourage it. Start a YouTube channel. And you can ask people for thumbs up. Roman Petal wants to know why I ask people for thumbs up. So here's why I ask for thumbs up and why I say it helps us. And I'm going to come back to Rod with a recap. But here's exactly how it helps us. And get ready to be bored to death, the rest of you, because Roman can't figure this out. So YouTube is owned by Google, and Google was founded by two guys that are total like academias, right? So what they see is that the way that Google ranks articles as well as videos, and no matter what the case may be, is they see it as whichever sites are, and videos and whatever the case may be, are cited the most by other sites. So our videos are generally shorter term. So they're not going to be cited and used by other sites as often, and neither are anybody else's in our industry. So they go to other factors to rank their videos when somebody does a search, both in Google and on YouTube. And one of those criteria that they use is how many people have watched this video and have hit a thumbs up saying that they liked it. So they use that as part of their formula as to how they rank their videos. So when you hit a thumbs up, it spreads the word to everybody else that you're watching something that's worth watching and enjoyable. And Google sees that is that you're saying that this is something worth watching. And that's why they have the thumbs up and the thumbs down. This is shit. This is good. That's what it's about, and that's why it really helps, and that's how it helps, and that's why I ask for it every day, because it doesn't cost you anything. But if you're at something that you enjoy, maybe there are other people out there that have never found us before, and there are millions and millions and millions that haven't. And I don't think it's asking for too much, and I don't think I even need to explain myself. Rod? I'm doing thumbs down. You can't even see me. Showing Rod I'm hitting here. Go ahead.
All right, in the NBA, I like the Clippers. Give me the Clippers plus 1.5. Put a little bit on the money line. I think they outright beat Dallas today. NHL, give me the Jets. All the value there on the Jets. I think the Jets can get a win here on the road. I like the Rangers. Rangers keep beating up the Islanders. Give me Boston in regulation over Vegas. I like the Penguins. I took the Flyers. Flyers on the money line over the Penguins. I think the Flyers have been sitting there waiting and watching this, and going to come out and beat the Penguins. Give me Chicago money line at home over Florida. I think they just keep rolling. College basketball, I'm going to take a shot with Nova minus 3.5. Staying hot and beating Butler. Akron minus 4 over Miami, Ohio. I like Oklahoma State to cover the number, plus 5.5 over Iowa State. Give me Wake Forest plus 8.5 at Clemson. I'm going to take a shot with LSU at Florida here, or at home here against Florida. Minus 2.5. I like Maryland minus 7 at Northwestern. I still think Northwestern sucks. And give me St. John's here at Marquette plus the 8.5 here. And I'm going to do a money line birdcage today. I'm going to go Jets, Boston, Chicago.
All right.
For plus 670.
So someone asked, how do you do the thumbs up? So here's how you do it. Here's the YouTube. We're a little behind. You can see Rod still talking on there. There I am telling you guys, and I'm going to hold the phone. So there you go. And then what you do is there's a little X right there. You see the X? You hit the X, and then it gives you all these different things right there. You see them? So we have 87 thumbs up and 2 thumbs down on the show with 132 people watching. You guys see that? So you go right here. You see where it says thumbs up? You hit it right there. And now it's 88. So you see that? I hit the thumbs up. Then after you've hit the thumbs up, there's this button right here, and it says live chat. It's in the middle. Ooh, right there. It says live chat. You hit that, and then and then you're right back to where you were. It's that easy. And that's why I say it takes a half second. Anyways, I don't know. I took the over in the Butler game. I gave out most of my picks in the videos. You guys can watch them there. As far as anything else, I think I gave out San Diego State minus the big number and Air Force plus the big number. Those are the only 2 picks that I didn't give out in the video or somewhere else of all the picks that I gave out. But thank you guys for all the thumbs up, even though I had to beg, borrow, and steal for them. I got some new golf shoes. I'm going to try them out. These are the new FootJoy Contour something. I don't know. They look super comfortable, but they're actually pretty heavy. it's kind of a combo of the soft spike and the regular spike, which is weird. I always get the boa fit. Like, that's how you tie it, boys. Is it this? I don't know. New ones. I go through a lot of golf shoes. I play a lot of golf. And let's bring the puck dogs on here. Chris, you going to Top Golf in Vegas? I'm all the way over on this side now.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna go. I'm right across the street from it, so
I'll be there as well. So maybe I'm Chris and I have like a brief crossover time. I have an event that I'm supposed to go to like right after I get there, but we're gonna figure it out. And Chris and I will do probably a quick live or something. You know, I don't know. We'll figure it out. But have a safe trip, Rod. Will be with me tomorrow. Is there NHL tomorrow?
2 games.
2 games or something?
2 games before they head into the All-Star break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you haven't checked out Spread Knowledge, you're going to want to check out that show. We do it. I do it every morning. I'm going to change the format of that show. This will probably be the last week. Well, actually, next week I'm on the road. So I'll probably do it next week as well, the same way I've been doing it this week. But after that, I'm going to change the format of the Spread Knowledge to just do a regular video. And I'm going to have a big screen behind me so I can actually go through the software and stuff. Because right now I'm just taking screenshots and showing them up. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to... I was going to green screen it and be the weather girl, on it. But it's like I have another idea for how I'm going to do it. But I'm going to shake things up. I got a big announcement for you guys in the next week or so. Real big. About as big as it gets. So you guys are going to love it. I promise you. Well, some people are going to love it. The 2 people that hit the thumbs down are not going to like it. I'll give you a hint. Could be a little more Mitch out there for you. Anyways, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Chris, have a safe trip. Rod, I'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Everyone, thanks for joining us. Thanks for hitting the thumbs up. Thanks for the questions.